We got a nice little 4th of July weekend present from the Boiler Ball Twitter account. This came in right as the weekend begun, holiday weekend. 4 minutes of buckets was the caption, and it was a very accurate description of what you're about to see. You can go on Purdue's Twitter and you can see this full video. 4 minutes of practice footage from next year's Purdue team. A lot of shots were made, a lot of good stuff in this video. As we always do, off-season practice film footage is one of our favorite things to get really, really granular about. So we like to have fun with this in the offseason. Let's have some fun with the 4 minutes of Purdue's practice footage that was just dropped. What did you like from this, Cart? What did you see in the latest video from Purdue?
I mean, look, sometimes videos sway me greatly, right? They truly do, and we joke about it, but I actually do like seeing some things come from this. I thought the caption was very fitting because there was a lot of buckets in this one. When you watch these videos, I feel like sometimes it's lost like how much Purdue has, and I guess maybe it's a personal thing for me, but like you got CJ Cox making shots. You got Jakari Harris making shots. Jakari Harris hitting Fletcher Loyer with a little woo woo ha and a little shoulder as well. It's just there's so much like talent and shooting on this team that it's gonna make a tough check for a lot of people in the Big Ten and the country. But yeah, there was a lot of good moments in this all around the board, to be honest with you.
TKR was doing some handle stuff. Did you see
TKR had a little ha 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 little dream shake fake right stuff on here. Yeah, little DHO stuff, like the little fake dribble handoff stuff too.
Yeah. Yeah. So I feel like when we talk about Purdue, anytime they put footage stuff like this out, you kind of gotta talk about two different subset groups. There's like the stars, Braden Smith, TKR, and I'm even putting Fletcher Loyer in that group. And then there's like all the unknowns. And I don't mean to say CJ Cox is a complete unknown or Daniel Jacobson. We know what some of these guys are, but they still got to prove it. And you don't know what those guys' roles are going to be. We don't know if CJ Cox or Jakari or Antoine West or Omer Mayer is going to play a bunch at the two. We don't know if Daniel Jacobson or Oscar Clough is going to be the center on this team or if they're going to do a split. I don't know. I know that Braden Smith, Fletcher Loyer, and TKR are going to be awesome. So let's start with subset one, the stars that are awesome. I was surprised by how much TKR was like doing with a handle in this. I feel like he was on the perimeter a little bit. Maybe that's just some of the drills that they set up, but I don't know. It looked improved. It looked like he was making some like facilitation type reads that they didn't ask him to do all that much last year, or at least he didn't do all that effectively last year. That was probably the only big surprise for me from that group. Did anything surprise you, good or bad, from Braden Fletcher or TKR in this video?
Um, Nothing really like I mean, the TKR off the bounce stuff was definitely a thing. It also seemed like TKR was being guarded by like Jack Benter and stuff like that. But like he was doing like a lot of like dribble handoff and moves like that. But the second part of this, I know there was no defense in any of this except for I think there was a Jack Benter charge taken on Antoine West. Or yeah, taken by Benter with Antoine West dribbling. But Fletch was getting cooked. Fletch was getting a little bit from everybody in this video, but obviously it's a video bucket somebody has to get scored on. But I did see a lot of Fletch getting the business end of some buckets.
Yeah, yeah, I think everybody was getting cooked, to be fair, but
Yeah,
Fletch did seem like a frequent recipient of the cookage a little bit.
the
Yeah, I don't
cooking.
know. So just on the stars, Braden looks great. Braden's always going to look great. I don't think we saw anything like majorly new from Braden. Maybe the biggest takeaway from this video for me, it must be so fun to be a Purdue role player. Just be able to pull up as like a true freshman. Like imagine you're Antoine West, your first time in college, and you just get to like stand in the corner and play off of Braden Smith and
Yeah,
Fletcher
and
Loyer and TKR.
Braden's just driving baseline, just whipping passes across the court to you.
Dude, so fun. So incredibly fun. I was really impressed with TKR. If there's a winner from this video to me, I think it's TKR. And one thought that did come to my mind in the middle of watching this video was that anytime we do see extended practice footage from Purdue this year, I think TKR is going to look dominant. He's probably the biggest problem at practice for everybody. And it makes sense when you think about the personnel on Purdue. They got nobody that can guard TKR. Like, at
Well,
least with Braden, there are a bunch of interchangeable guards. They could throw Cox, they could throw Harris, they could throw West at him when Omer gets in the gym. They've got dudes that can try and challenge Braden Smith. Who the hell in Purdue practice right now is supposed to make things difficult on TKR?
yeah, I'm watching Jack Benter check him. For the love of
Right.
God, like with all due respect to Jack Benter, that's not
Right.
that ain't it.
There wasn't much Jacobson with TKR in this video, and I think that's probably fine and a good thing. They play different positions, and quite frankly, I think if Jacobson tried to guard TKR right now, TKR would go right through his chest and destroy him. So,
I,
yeah, I don't know.
I will say this. I know it was a buckets video. These dudes, I don't know if they can. Defense is definitely going to be the one thing you're going to have to watch for this year, and it's going to be obviously Jacobson with the rim protection. I think will help a lot, and obviously Braden Smith, like the free safety, is going to be good defensively, but like surface level stuff, I don't know who they're going to look for stops.
This video is brought to you by NBA 2KLab.com. 2K Lab worked with us last summer as well. They're one of our favorite entities in all of sports gaming. We want to show you their college basketball stadium locator challenge game. And I'm going to share a screen right now as we do this. South Carolina, bang. Oh,
Ooh,
okay, that's pretty good. Next, North Carolina. Why are we only getting the Carolinas?
please
Bang.
lock in.
St. John's, that's New
New
York.
York. Well,
Bang.
that's New Jersey.
We're on fire. Colorado. I actually don't know what state Colorado is.
It's it's in Colorado. There's a state of
Is that
Colorado.
this one?
It's to the right of Phoenix.
Anyway, you get the picture. This game's really fun. They've got more games as well, like Guess the NBA Player, Mystery Fantasy Draft, and more. Stay tuned for all of the college football content and games that they'll be putting together to help you get the best experience out of college football 26. Back to the video. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's fair. I think it's fair to say.
But don't need a lot of stops if you just score more points than the other team.
Yeah, I mean they're right in line to be your favorite team in the country. They don't really care about stops. They're going to score 95 every game, and that's certainly a viable path to a Final Four and maybe beyond. But I don't know. I don't worry about the perimeter defense really at all. And obviously there was no Clough in this video. There's no Omer Meyer in this video. So you're missing two very, very important pieces. I'm going to reserve any serious judgments on the Purdue defense or anything Purdue until we see those two guys involved. Like this is such an incomplete version of this team right now, and they still look awesome in the footage. So hard to nitpick it too much, but yeah, I'm hoping that both Meyer and Clough can contribute defensively a little bit, just get a little more size inside, and I don't know. We need to see something there. Let's go to my second subset though. I feel like we talked through the stars. Who impressed you from the group outside of Purdue's big three in this video?
Probably CJ Cox.
I was going to say there's two names for me. The first one is CJ Cox.
Yeah, see, just a lot of shot making in this one. A little bit of everything too. Threes, driving, off the dribble, tough shot maker. Had some little mid range stuff in there. Just a lot of buckets where I see like if Omer Mayer is going to be as good as he is, having a microwave bench scorer like CJ Cox, I think could go a long way.
Yeah, I agree. It's going to be interesting for that two spot between Cox and Meyer
Mhm.
because, look, I firmly believe Meyer is the better player based on what we've seen in the overseas stuff. But I also think it's going to be one of those things where game by game it's very interchangeable. Like when Meyer has a stinker, like in that one game overseas where he was awful, I think he's just benched and CJ Cox plays the full game. CJ Cox goes on one of his Alabama shot making runs where he has 9 points in 2 minutes. Cox is on the floor. I think it's going to be one of those every night it's a different guy thing at the two. But I would hear the argument to your point if defense is a serious issue for this team, doesn't CJ Cox have to play?
Yeah,
If we're
yeah.
serious about defense being a major issue, Cox might need to start and play serious minutes at the two. And whether that comes at the expense of Fletcher Lawyer or whether it comes at the expense of Omer Meyer, I don't know. But that might have to be his path on the floor. He looked really solid in this
He
video.
looked he looked real good,
Yeah.
real good. Who's the other person for you?
I think there's one other guy at the off guard spot that has my attention, and I liked what I saw from Antoine West in this video.
He looks big. How big is he?
He looks big.
Looks big. For some
I
reason,
don't
I thought
know.
he was like a little more frail.
He's listed at 6'3", which is the same height as Jakari Harris and CJ Cox, but visually he looks taller than both, at least to me.
Yeah, he does. And I don't really know what that path is. And to your point, I think the defense might be a path, like for any one of those guys, even like a Jakari Harris. I think maybe that might be his calling card. I know that he was a big kind of like up this defensive guy coming into Purdue, but yeah, there is gonna have to be somebody on the perimeter that steps up and gets stops. Um, yeah, I think those guys have the opportunity to do so.
Yeah. Any negatives? I mean, again, this is practice footage. We say this on every video we do. We do this with Kentucky, BYU. We're doing all the rounds of every team in the country that's putting stuff out like this. We say it every time. Negatives don't matter. It's July. So, whatever our answer is here, it's not a serious concern. It's summer workouts. But what negatives do you have from this video?
Um, I mean, getting nitpicky would have loved like maybe some B-roll shots of the coaches on the sideline. I always like to see like what Paint's doing. I feel like I didn't get any views of Paint and or Brantley or anybody during that. And then second, I still gotta see it. Like I know people tell me this, but like the whole Jack Venter thing, I gotta see it. I'm just
Oh,
not.
well, who cares?
I feel like Purdue people like I feel like they truly think that Jack Venter is gonna be like a difference maker on this basketball team.
Yeah, but I like, okay, I share that thought, but I'm just like, yeah, whatever. It's their 13th guy. I'm not worried about it. There's one basketball thing that I think matters that to me I came away unimpressed with in this video.
What?
So, reminder, as far as I can tell in this full video, there is no Oscar Clough, and TKR is going up against the Benters and the backup forwards, right?
Yeah.
And we talk about how TKR was kind of abusing them because who can match up with him? Nobody, right? Right now, there should be nobody that can match up with Daniel Jacobson. But wasn't this a very quiet video from Daniel Jacobson? Like
Ah,
the other center's not there. I would have thought like we're getting 4 minutes of footage. Do I get a Daniel Jacobson dunk at some point? Do I get a block? Do I get anything? I think there's one clip that involves Daniel Jacobson in this video, and it's an uncontested catch off a Braden Smith pass, and he lays it in. Like,
so
I don't know.
I might have been off on this one. Was this all from one practice?
I don't know. I kind of assumed so.
Okay, maybe it was. I was wondering if like this was all from like when Jacobson was there.
I mean, it could be maybe a lot of this footage came when Jacobson wasn't there. Maybe that's part of it. He certainly seemed like he was involved less in this than everybody else. And look, he is coming off the FIBA World Cup. Um, Clearly, some of this footage has to be from a while ago because it can't be from like a practice last week while Jacobson was at the FIBA World Cup, right?
Right.
So some of it has to be a little bit out of date even. But yeah, I don't know. Just one of my main takeaways was like, well, the other center's not in the gym. I kind of would hope Jacobson's like having his way with all of the much smaller bigs right now. And just not much footage of him doing anything, you know?
Yeah, I agree.
So I don't know. We've talked about in other videos, like we don't buy that he's 100%. If he was 100%, I would hope that he was sort of asserting his will in this scrimmage or whatever these drills are a little bit more than he did with no Oscar Clough. And just based on everything we've seen, like the culmination of all this, I feel pretty strongly right now that Oscar Clough is going to start at center based on just things I've seen, how Jacobson looked at the FIBA event. Like I right now, Clough is the guy I think, and he's not there. And he needs to get there. Hopefully he comes this week. But I don't know. Like I'd be pretty surprised if the Jacobson we're seeing clips of right now is more impactful than 22-year-old Oscar Clough,
Yeah, that's fair.
which I think isn't the greatest thing because I think Purdue's defense needs Jacobson on the floor.
They do.
So
100%. So
yeah,
they well, hopefully he comes along a little bit, just obviously just playing more, practicing more.
yeah. Again, not no panic at all, but That was like my one surprise. I'm like, ooh, 4 minutes, and the first clip has Jacobson setting a pick. I'm like, yeah, let's see. And then you wait 4 minutes, and there wasn't anything.
Yeah, fair.
So, all right. Shout out Boiler Ball. Great video. Please keep supplying more of this. I could watch hours of this.